let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and do it, and do it, let's live it up and do it, and do it.
So what is the best benefits of feeding raw?
The best
Over kibble.
benefits of feeding raw over kibble is health. Is actually health. Your dog will thrive a lot longer. It's at 3 extra years of life, that diet, as well as, like she said, healthy gut and nutrients that's fed to your dog with Olympic Canine develops healthy brain development. And your puppies with the omega-3s and the omega-6s, the fatty acids inside of Olympic Canine raw dog food.
So yeah, I want to touch on that 3-year thing too. So I actually Googled and researched that a little bit more, and you can read some articles that are online, very accessible. It is actually from studies proven to, if you eliminate processed food from your dog and feed raw food, you can add a couple years of life to your dog. And it takes 3 generations of dogs of feeding raw to eliminate that processed food from their diet and their genetic code. Here at Delaware Red Pit Bulls and KC Canine and Olympic, we're over those 3 decades, or those 3 generations of raw feeding. So we have completely eliminated processed food out of our dogs, which is very beneficial if you're interested in a puppy. We have puppies that are completely raw fed and for generations now.
So how about the people that like to mix their kibble and raw together? Can you do that?
Here at Olympic Canine, I really don't suggest that you do, but if you do have your dog on a dry kibble, it's best that you wean your dog off. If you're feeding your dog kibble, so you want to do 60-40, what I call it, a 60-40 blend. You want to blend 40% of the dog's dry kibble with 60% of the dog's raw, and then slowly wean them off of the dry kibble.
I don't know if I have any more to say to that.
All right.
I mean, that's pretty much what I do.
Just stop.
So when do you start feeding raw?
When do you start feeding raw? A lot of people ask me that. I like to say as soon as the mother weans the puppies off. Once she's done with the puppies at between 3 and 4 weeks, it's best that you start your dog on Olympic Canine raw diet so the dog can thrive for the rest of his life. And the Olympic Canine raw dog food dinners are all life stages, starting with 3-week-old puppies all the way up to seniors.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I do want to touch on this one. So for the first time in 2021, we started weaning our puppies as we did litters. And instead of going and buying canned food and goat's milk to wean our puppies onto kibble, instead now what we do is we just wean them right from 3-4 weeks old right onto Olympic, mix it up with a little goat's milk, and they're on raw food from the minute they can eat food. It makes it, as a breeder, it makes it easy cleanup for us, because the stool, when you feed raw food, their stool is very tight and clean, and it makes it very easy cleanup, and it's a lot more sanitary when it comes to a whole puppy and litters and everything. So on
Makes
that
your coat
aspect,
nicer.
yeah, a lot nicer coats, teeth. I mean, pretty much the whole full cycle benefits there. But we like to start our puppies now. We do all litters full raw right from the jump, and we found many benefits to it.
They tear it up. They absolutely love it. I have people ask me all the time, like, don't you think, isn't that bad for the puppy? Absolutely
Aren't they
not.
going to get salmonella?
No, they're not going to get salmonella.
Impossible.
Okay, so the gut biome in a dog is completely different. Completely different. We want to humanize canines all the time. We want to give them human qualities. We want to compare them to humans.
You want to put their
They
coats
are-
on them?
They are not
hats.
human
Little bow.
beings. They are canines. In the wild, what would the mother do for their dog? They would kill it. They would bring the piece back. Some of them throw it back up. Some of them bring the piece of the meat, and what do? They rip and they tear, and it helps clean their teeth, and it gives them, it's natural for them. It's natural for them to smell that, to want to eat it, to love it, and like Matt said, you want cleaner poop, you want poop that is not, and I mean, that sounds weird talking about, your dog's poop, but it's going to be cleaner, it's going to be tighter, it's not going to smell as bad. You are going to be so grateful that you cleaned your or that you gave your dog raw diet, just because it's an easier cleanup too, because it's natural. Because what is your digestive system? It's a waste removing system.
Yeah,
so
the
what
body
do you
uses
do?
everything.
They're getting the nutrients from the actual food itself and not the kibble. So when you have kibble, it's got all of these preservatives, all that other stuff, and it's going to come out in their waste, and it's going to stink, and it's going to be messy, and it's going to be gross. Well, when they're getting all that nutrients from their food, basically it's just coming out like, sometimes it looks like powder, which means it's too much protein, by the way, just throw that out there. But it's just a tighter form. It's just cleaner, and you know, it's just a beautiful thing, to be honest with you.
Another thing I want to touch on is the mixing raw with kibble, and you don't want to do that because they digest at a different rate. You do not mix raw and kibble because they digest at a different rate. Kibble is processed a little faster, and kibble is a little slower. So if the dog eats kibble and then raw, the kibble can hold that digestive tract up, holding the raw in there longer, which can pose a little hazard. So you just don't want to do that. You don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk twisting your puppy or your dog's stomach up.